Hey, there we go. I had to add myself to my own video. That's awesome. Yeah, let's see if this is actually delayed live. Actually sound. All right. Yep. All right. We got sound. Cool. I'm live, bitches. Nice. All right. So yeah, we'll wait for people to show up. We'll just talk about random stuff. See what happens tonight. Of course, as soon as I start doing something, my phone's going to blow up with stuff, but that's usually how it works. Got the Mountain Dew. Yeah, we're just going to hang out and do stuff, and whoever watches, you guys want to join, I'll throw the link in the chat and go from there. So, yeah, that's going to chill out, hang out for a little bit. Might stream a game for a little bit. I don't know. This is really you guys know there's no format to the lives, so I just do whatever, and whatever happens. So, and pretty sure it's my first YouTube live at my new place. So we'll talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. We'll talk about, and we'll go from there. I got it going. So I got my huge 49-inch screen, and then I got the laptop off to the side too, just making sure that everything is going. Hey, HD Traveler, what's going on? And I'm actually looking on my desktop. If I were to just, depending how the night goes, I'm going to start streaming something. So I don't know what game to stream if I take that route. Oh, there's a hilarious wrestling game for the computer. I could do that later. No live streams I ever actually totally planned out, but legit, like I don't even have a topic. I'm just like whatever. But yeah, that would be funny. I could play that wrestling game for a little bit. It's I screwed up my screen here. It's got like ragdoll physics and stuff in it, so like just hilarious things happen. It's awesome. Oh, wait for some more people. So I know it's like a Friday night, and it's like peak time, 8 o'clock. Wrestling's on, but you know what? This is the only time that I have. So if other people have that same time, they can join in, and if not, I'll try to do more of these. I gotta start getting back into the habit of just doing lives and just being more social in general now that things are pretty much straightened out here. Yeah, I saw a YouTube video of this wrestling game that the guy is still creating on the computer, and it looks super fun. So I'm like, whatever. I picked it up wicked cheap because it was only like $10 or something. I'm like, all right, I'll support you. I'll support the guy with the stuff. It's so much fun. It's just like stupid fun for like a couple matches, then you go off and do something else. But just it's nice supporting people doing stuff. I think it's like one or two guys just making the game. So I'm like, all right, whatever. I'll help you guys out. But yeah, I was gonna say I'm doing a video a week at this point until next spring. So yeah, so my Motovlogging Dead video came out. I got an adventure video coming out Sunday. And then on December 8th, I actually made another video about the Canyon, just because it's just hilarious to piss off the Can Am fanboys. So yeah, spider shirt. What's going on, Anonymous? Just hanging out doing Blackphoenix stuff. Yeah, it might be. I haven't heard from him in a little bit, but yeah, it's what is it? Yeah, past 8 on a Friday. He's probably passed out somewhere. So no. Yeah, ask him about the story about when we went to VAM together and what time I told him we were going to meet up. It's always like when you're in the pre-planning phases, you're always like, yeah, yeah, I'll go. I'm like, yeah, it's going to be 4 o'clock in the morning, dude. But he did it, and it was a fun trip. So hopefully next year we got to plan a couple trips together. I got all the time in the world at this point to do whatever I want to do. So yes, I am still in Mass. I'm actually in the same city, but instead of the South, I'm in the North End, which actually puts me closer to my work. So it actually works out. Yeah, VAM 23 is infamous. There's a lot of things that happened that year, but that was a fun time. So I'm definitely VAM 25's on my list. I want to do something else in the spring. I have to see how that pans out. Hopefully April or May I can get out to some sort of maybe Pennsylvania or something like that, and then June is Laconia, and then July is VAM. So, and that's if work flies me out to Seattle in February. If they don't fly me out in February, they're flying me out in April or May, which then screws things up. So that's the plan for right now. So I could visit somebody in the spring, Pennsylvania, Ohio. Like I don't care where I go. So I got time. I can do live dating shows now. Yep. So I got to line up those hot goth chicks, and we'll get that going. But the goth chicks have been elusive to me so far. So, and none of them decided that I could be their sacrifice for Halloween. So I'm still here. I offered myself, but they wouldn't take me. Maybe next year. But yeah, I poked a couple group chats that Rhodey is in, but he hasn't responded. He's been elusive. I think he's working or something. So, or he's been working and probably tired. No, Texas is happening in how many weeks? 2 weeks? 1, 2, like 2.5 weeks that I'm leaving for Texas for 10-ish days, a little over a week, I think. And we'll see out there. Yeah, just visiting family out there, but anyone who is in that general area, I'd like to meet up with if possible. So we'll see how that goes. And I get to scope out Texas, and maybe that'll be an option at some point. So yeah, any place that I could ride a lot longer than New England would be great. So, which is weird. It's been oddly warm up here, like still like in the 40s, like mid 40s, getting into the 50s during the day, which is fine for New England. Like if it stayed like this, that would be great. And I would still ride in this, but the Ryker is already put away. So who's texting me? Getting something. Oh, someone's busy. But yeah, I am going to be in between San Antonio and Austin, kind of like that area, like probably about in the middle, kind of 45 minutes from each. So I'm not super familiar with. I know Texas is huge, so like you could, I could be there and someone could be 8 hours away and still be in Texas. So. But yeah, the Riker is away, but not away in a point where I could not get to it. It's actually at a friend's house, so I could, if we get a weird good day, weekend, or whatever, and I'm free, I could just go and grab it and ride. But we also at the point where it gets dark at like 4 p.m. So it's dark when I go to work, dark when I get out of work. So the weekdays are no go by the time I would have to drive and get it and do all of that stuff. So single in Austin is dangerous. Is it? Well, I'm going to have to visit Austin then. Yeah, and yeah, Southern. I don't know what it is. Southern girls seem to like me. Apparently, like, and I'm not aware of my accent. So apparently, every time I go down there, I have an accent. I'm not aware of it, obviously. So, but they seem to point it out. Hey, Smyrna Cowboy, what's going on? We're just talking about the South and my trip to Texas. And also probably hitting up Tennessee next year, too. I missed the whole Dragon Week because of the bike blowing up and all the other bullshit. So I know the other guys did it, but I want to do next summer what I had planned for this summer. Like kind of do that whole trip just so I can do the tail and do all that type of stuff. So they want to say wicked. Nice. I know between me and Randy has a much thicker accent than me, roadie rider. So they were just making him say all sorts of stuff. But yeah, we found ourselves in some sort of trouble down there. Nothing we couldn't get out of, so. Yeah, somebody wake up Randy too. Tell him to join in. Yeah, the Southern you guys get down there. Mr. G, I just prefer the South in general. I'm so tired of New England and the cities. Like I'm done. Like part of my plan is to eventually move down south somewhere. So I got to see what he's no longer like mini Phoenix. I just call him my clone at this point because he's as tall as me and just as big. So got to get him out of school, see what he wants to do, and then I can figure out where I want to go. So nice. Yeah, Smyrna, you do have a good DJ radio type voice, announcer voice type thing. Yeah, there are people that ride year round up here, and I think Rhodey is one of them. It's sketchy at best. The cold weather on motorcycle tires and all the salt and all the sand and all this stuff around. Like you've got to really either be careful or pick the right day where everything's been washed away and you can be somewhat safe. Yeah, because even on three wheels, like it doesn't matter. Like sand, salt, like I still get affected by that. It'll still tail whip and do all that. So on two wheels, it's just even worse. I can't imagine that. I mean, that's how I crashed the first time. Was literally sand, and it wasn't even that much on a corner, going like maybe 25, and then the front end just went right out from under me. So I'm all set with that. Yeah, Tennessee would be fun. I'd like to get back there again. I was down there a long time ago in the 90s, and I just want to go back there. But that's what's going to be cool in a couple of years. I'm just banking money, buying my time, doing what I can, and then figuring out what I want to do and where I can go. So kind of getting a little tired of IT too, but I can't complain with the money and all of that. But maybe find a nice Southern girl who will adopt me and, you know, put up with my crap, and I can move somewhere nice. Yeah, Vam, like that was like all the Vams I've been to, like 21, 22, and 23 were great. 23 was like the pinnacle, and there's so much stuff happened. It's just crazy. But yeah, hopefully 25 is just as good, trying to get a more group of guys to go down there again and just rip it up. Hey Jarvis, what's going on? Join the fun. No one else. I'm poking Randy too. He's got to still be awake. Yeah, Jarvis, you were like everywhere, I think. I've seen some videos of you be like in everybody else's videos. I just saw one with you and McStash, I think. You guys were doing stuff. Stop judging my words, Anonymous. Yeah, I'm cool with girls shooting things. Like I said, I wanted to be sacrificed by goth chicks for Halloween, and that didn't happen. So I'm all set. I'm just waiting to be lured, taken away, whatever. I'm like, hey, available. Nice. Yeah, someday I'd like to do something like a much longer like road trips. I am going to have the 2 weeks again in July, so that's going to be nice. So that's why I'm saying I can do the whole go all the way down to Tennessee, do the tail in that area, and then go back up to Tazewell for VAM 25. So that's going to be my plan as of right now. But if I do anything longer, depending on the mileage and stuff, the Ryker is probably not going to be the bike to do it on. But I'll have to kind of wait and see. I'll have to see how this next trip pans out. But like if I did something like Sturgis, there's no way I'm doing that on the Ryker. Like I'd have to get like an actual like touring bike or something like that to do that with. Mostly not. I mean, I could buy more storage and stuff like that for it, but it's more of just like the maintenance and stuff like that, like that CVT belt. Like I don't want to be caught out somewhere and all of a sudden like, oh, I'll put so many miles on it. Now I got to change the belt and I'm in the middle of Dakota somewhere. Like that's just not cool. I'd pick up a Spyder so that way I don't have to worry about some of the maintenance like that. But that and gas mileage. Gas mileage is another biggest thing in the Ryker. So the Ryker's tank is a little bit smaller than the Spyder's. And it, for whatever reason, with the gearing and the CVT, it just gets, I don't want to, average, bad. It's not great mileage, but the Spyders with the 6-speed get much better gas mileage. They get over like 200 something miles on a tank. The most I've ever gotten in the Ryker was like 170, and that was babying it on the highway, all highway. So on average, it's like 140, maybe 150, but. And then you got to space it out for gas stops. It's like if there's a gas station 30 miles away, I'm like, well, I'm not going to make it. I got to stop now. So yeah, don't break anything else so we can all show up to VAM 25. Let's all not break our bikes, not break ourselves, and not whatever we have for significant others, not destroy that either. Let's all show up. You're all side. I've seen one of those. There was one at a show I went to earlier. I had one of my more recent car show videos. I think it's actually on there. I think I got a little video of it. Those things seemed cool. Hey, it's Technic Rides. What's up? Yeah, part of the wrestling crew watching SmackDown tonight. I'm gonna watch some BPE action with Mountain Dew. Awesome. Yeah. I'm not quite there, Anonymous. Not quite. If the drought continues for a little bit, I'll hit you up. Oh, how do I do? There we go. Copy. Good. I'll just toss that in there just in case anyone wants to join in more fun by the pound. Yeah, but it's like scooters. Nobody's supposed to know. Or what is it? They're fun to ride, but don't let your friends catch you on one. I think that's what it is. But yeah, it's definitely good to actually just start doing stuff. I didn't see. It's good to just start doing stuff and going lives and actually like making the videos again and putting them out and just like getting back into my routine and all of that. And now, like in the winter, like it's dark by like 4 o'clock here. It's ridiculous, and then it gets cold and stupid. So, but we got plenty of video games to keep me busy. But I'd much rather be doing this on a Friday night, hanging out with you guys, than just quietly stoned by myself playing video games. By past 10K. Yeah, you're catching up to me on that thing. I got probably almost 13K on the Ryker now. So it's not bad. So definitely before summer and before I go to VM, I got to change my CVT belt again, just because it's just the mileage. And of course, the way I ride it, I want to just change it out before I do a trip like that. So what's cold or winter? Yeah. We can stop talking about that now. But at least I'll have like a week in Texas where I can be warm in December. So that'll be nice. Rain. No, it finally rained here yesterday and all throughout today, and it's going to rain through the weekend. It hadn't rained for 4 months, and they had all those fire red alerts and all that stuff out. You couldn't, no burning, none of the bonfires, anything like that. It was like super high alert for fires up here. Like all the reservoirs, I didn't realize how bad it was. I had all these other things I was concentrating on. And then I started past like month or so, I saw all these alerts. They're like, yeah, don't, if you smoke outside, don't throw your cigarettes, like all this. I'm like, how is it that bad? And then I looked it up. I'm like, oh yeah, it hasn't rained. that would do it. Yeah, you've had that see the sky longer than me, but yeah, you were out of action for a while. I was putting a ton of miles on it until I broke it. That was fun. But then I kind of made up for it for the rest of this year by riding a lot. So we went out to Mount Greylock. So that one weekend, that we did the Mount Greylock, and I did something. I forget what else I did that weekend. Almost 800 miles just in 2 days. So I definitely made up for it. You're going to have a red alert out soon. I don't even know what that means. That could be good or bad, or I don't know. I just find myself getting in trouble again. Yeah, I'll have to see how this year goes for trips and how I feel on a Ryker and how much maintenance and stuff like that I got to do to it. But I'm not in a situation to keep another bike anywhere else, so it's like I'd have to trade that in for something if I wanted more of a touring thing. But we'll see. I'm definitely not buying a Canyon. I can tell you that much. Bikes and hose. Yeah, don't worry. There are things that I'm thinking of, like all these things that I can actually do now without getting in trouble. I'm like, yeah, I can still get in trouble, but not in that way. But yeah, so you guys familiar with a lot of my rides, like the Av rides that I do. I live on the Av now, just in like a different part of it. So just walk outside, be like, hey, Avho, and then jump on the bike. Yeah, that sort of thing. But yeah, Jarvis, I took that clutch kit out of it. Like I had to just detune it basically and just put the stock belt back in. And I mean, it's still a lot of fun, but it was a stupid amount of fun with that clutch kit that I'm passing 650cc sports bikes on the back roads, like full throttle, and they're actually trying. Like it was just crazy, stupid fast from like 0 to 80. Like, but yeah, the caveat to that is, yeah, it's gonna wear out and blow up. Hey, Corey, what's going on? Avho, tell us more. So, yeah, there are ladies of the evening that walk around the Ave that hang out in certain spots that can be picked up for certain activities for a certain exchange of currency. What else to say? But yeah, what it would be, it would be hilarious though if I did something. You guys see the movie Ted, like the first one, where for some reason they're having a party and Ted just invites a bunch of strippers and hookers, and like they come home and there's like stuff happening everywhere. That would be me by myself if that were to happen. So yeah, nothing good can come from that. Biker chicks. Yeah, so where are these biker chicks anonymous? Because I don't think we're going to the same meetups. I haven't seen them. Yeah, Corey. Yeah, you guys got to Randy. We all got to come to New Bedford and help these poor Av girls out. They're in such dire need of male help. Man, out the locals don't check out my channel. I'm not an Av girl. Yeah, you are. Okay. I was ranting about Av girls, and I completely did not see Nick in the staging area. Sorry, Anonymous had me like all talking about Av girls and whores and shit. So
that's okay. What's up, man?
What's going on?
Not much. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I'm just turning up my speakers here.
Okay.
Yeah, I got you.
Finicky.
Yeah. Bedford. Yeah.
I'm not an Av girl. Sorry.
No.
What's going on?
not much. Just decided to have a free Friday night and was like, hey, let's go live with everybody. So
Nice. Nice.
yeah, getting everything sorted out. So
Cool. Y'all hit winter yet? Or is it getting cold up there?
it's getting there. We're getting some weird, like the days are still like mid 50s, but then
Same here.
yeah, as soon as the sun drops, it goes down. But we're getting, like I said, we're finally getting rain, so the temps have dropped finally.
Yeah. Yeah, it was snowing here a little bit today, but it just was snow showers basically. Starting to get that temperature now.
Yeah, I think that's coming our way, but I don't think it's going to hit me. I think I'm too far east for that. But yeah, HD. Like Rhodey's definitely in bed at this point. So many people have like texted him and poked him and all this stuff, and nothing. So
Brody's went to sleep.
I think so. Yeah, I've messaged him a couple times on like different apps. Like nothing.
Oh my goodness. Jeez. Oh, thanks. Yeah, I'm sorry about the audio for me. I don't know what's up with this mic. How about now? Still worse or better?
The volume's fine. Yeah, it hasn't faded out yet.
Okay. That was weird. I don't know.
Yeah, seems good now. So
Okay. Okay. Oh.
yeah, smart. Yeah, 45 here. I would be riding if I had a place to keep it.
Yeah.
So
I got to take mine in like first of next month, and for some service at the dealer. So I don't know what the weather's calling for. So I don't know if I'm going to ride it or not. But I got to take it in and get it serviced. I've been riding a little bit here and there when I can. It just depends on the weather.
yeah.
So I saw you were going to go to VAM next year and maybe do an extended week.
Yeah, so I think I'm still, the way it's panning out, I'm going to have those 2 weeks again in July.
Cool.
So
Awesome.
and now I can leave whenever at this point. So
yeah.
So
Cool.
So I might just do that whole route that you guys did that we were planning on, just so I can do that. And
yeah, it's fun. It was a lot of fun. I might do a couple extra days potentially for VAM. Maybe go down. I like to do. Oh gosh, it was I can't remember. Snake. I think it was the snake the one I didn't do last year. I like to do that one.
yeah, I figure make my way down to that Tennessee area and just see who else is around, hit some things, and then go back up to Jasper.
Yeah, I wonder. I don't know. I mean, I wonder if I don't think it affected any of the area that we went, but because of Helene, that hurricane, I wonder if it affected some of those areas that we rode last year.
I think it did, because I got a friend down there, and a lot of those roads were blocked around her. So, but by that time, I don't know how long it's going to take them to clear it out. But I would imagine it would at least be passable by next summer. So,
are you gonna go straight down there, or are you gonna like go about halfway, like you did last time, like to Gettysburg or something? Or
yeah, I don't know. I think it depends on who else I can get to go with me from here. So I don't know if Randy's going to go or if Melissa wants to go with, her now boyfriend. But if it's just me, I'll just go, and then I'll find a place to stop. But if got other people, we might make a stop or two.
That's cool.
But that Maryland stop is good. That's about 500 miles from us. That gets us through, New York, New England, most of Pennsylvania. So
yeah.
And then from there, it's like a straight shot down south. Just keep going and then get into Tennessee from there.
That's cool. Yeah, I might do the I don't know if you saw McStash's video, the 22 states in 22 days he's doing. But I'm thinking about going to at least maybe Kentucky or one of the states there, and maybe riding with him, like maybe from one state to the other or something, or maybe two or
Right.
three. Always flipping me off. Sorry. I mean, this is not G-rated.
No, definitely not here. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Just like get down to that area and then see what's going on, who's around, and then like I'll have 2 weeks, so it's like
it'll be fun.
Yeah.
Are you gonna ride all 2 weeks, or?
Yeah, I'll just stay, or maybe stay with some people a couple days, and then just stay local and stuff. So
that'd be cool.
But what I'm planning on doing is in the spring I got to do an oil change, but then in the summer, probably like in June, do brakes, do another oil change, do the CVT, just do everything, so that way I don't have to worry about anything at all for the trip.
Yeah, that's something actually I'm thinking about doing tomorrow is an oil change. I usually do them right near the tail end of the year. I'll do a oil change, so I might do one this weekend. I don't know yet.
I was thinking about doing one when I had it finally fixed, and then I looked at it, I'm like, because it calls for every 6,000 miles, and I had barely put 3,000 miles on it. I'm like, I almost feel like it's a waste just to do the oil change. All right, Anonymous, let me know if just wander into my area if you find a couple good ones.
Yeah, I saw Jarvis. Yeah, he's looking for others to tag along for parts of the 22. Yeah, I'm gonna try to get a couple states. Maybe I like to try to plan that. So.
Yeah, it sucks. When he was in New England, he was actually very close to me. Mm-hmm. I just missed him with timing, and then I actually ended up getting sick the next day. So I'm like, I'm glad I actually didn't meet up with him, because I would have felt wicked bad if I got them sick. So
yeah, I've had a cold for the last week or so. I'm just getting over that in the last couple of days, and that's kind of kept me off the bike.
Yeah, there's stuff going on around here, but luckily I haven't actually caught it. So, hey, John's here. What's going on? Yes, my hair is missing. You're the first one to comment with that. I think my first live with my new knee. It's very weird. I'm still doing this, like when I had like hair in the back, and it's just like nothing. So
you cut all your hair off, and I'm growing all mine now.
I noticed that. I do notice it's so much different in the helmet, though, because before I had to like move everything around, put the helmet on, and make sure. But now I'm just like, all right, I can just slide it on and off, and no issues.
Yeah. Oh man.
I was thinking about the possibly an early year trip out to Pennsylvania, but got to see what Chris is doing.
Yeah, I want to do that sometime. I think in the fall.
Because last time I was way out in 2020 when I first met him, like in person. I did that trip in a day. It was like a little over 9 hours to get out there, so it wasn't too bad.
Is there anything going on up in New England or your area this spring or summer?
I mean, besides you got Laconia and Americade, there's nothing else really big going on.
How far are you from Americade?
About 4 hours.
Okay. Is that like western part of New York, or?
Yeah, so about 4 or 5 hours, depending on which way you go.
Okay.
It's basically going through all of Mass, and then it's right over the border. Then Laconia is about 3.5 straight up through Boston going north. So
if you came up that way, say to Laconia or Americade, like what's the best route to go from, say, Virginia from this area?
Yeah, so timing wise, like Laconia is always the same time, but Americade if Americade's first, that makes it a lot easier.
Okay.
Because then you can go through up through New York, hit Americade at Lake George, and then cut right across Vermont and New Hampshire into Laconia, which a lot of people do.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you'd be able to. I would avoid the George Washington Bridge and go up. I think that's 287. I think that goes around what was the Tappan Zee Bridge. I don't know what it's called now, but that's the route that I take. I go all the way around, and it puts me out a little bit into Jersey towards central Pennsylvania.
Okay.
And I avoid all that Jersey, New York, George Washington Bridge crap.
Sorry if my keyboard is loud.
Yeah. Is Corey still here? He was in the chat. I don't know if he's still here. But yeah, those guys will do 500 miles in a day easily.
I think I could do 500. I don't know.
I've done it,
yeah.
but not like round trip. I've done it like going to Vam or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, this new bike I got is pretty comfortable, and I don't know. I could probably do 300 or 400. Pretty easy.
Still calling it the tap. Yeah, I call it the tap too. It just. But I can do those rides now because I don't care anymore. So I can do it. You're gone for too long.
Say now I'm be as long as I want to now.
Well, I finally got to Mount Greylock this year. Like that's a trip I've been trying to do for like years.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, all right, fine. Now I'm going to do it. We did like 800 miles in 2 days.
Cool. My goodness.
Yeah, that 650 is a long day. Oh, at least round trip's a little bit different. Kind of, I feel like than just like actually being out on the road for 650 miles. I feel like you make more stops if you're like still somewhat local.
Hey, said Ryan, I was a question for you about that Laconia. If you go up, do you ever go to like Albany, or you kind of stay more east?
Yeah, I'm more east.
Okay, for you, that's different. But
yeah, I'm not in that area at all.
Okay, yeah, I see where you're going. Okay. Oh, okay, 6 hours.
Yeah, Corey. Yeah, I'm planning next year. I'm gonna have the bike here in the spring. I got an outside cover for it. I'm gonna put it behind my car parked here, so I'm gonna be able to get out and do stuff next year. So it's gonna be fun. And I'm actually gonna start using more of my PTO and actually take days off. So it'll be nice. Yeah, I've been up to the Lake George area like twice, but never on a bike. So I'd really like to get up there on a bike at some point and check out those roads. But I have heard like some stories that like the police up there are like not nice whatsoever to any of those bike rallies in the Lake George area. It's like we're literally funding everything you guys do by being up there for like a few days.
Ready to hand out tickets, I guess.
Yeah, stuff like that. Like literally, there was a guy in one of the forums that he pulled into a parking lot and put his visor up. They ticketed him for that. It's like, guy, he's paying your salary for the day. Like,
oh my goodness.
You know, with like taxes and, you know, supporting local businesses and things like that. It's just, I don't get it. Like Laconia loves that stuff. Like they are very well aware that most of their money for the year comes from that 1 week. So.
Yeah, I got a aftermarket exhaust or slip-ons, and it's pretty loud. So I don't know how the state of New York would feel about that.
Yeah, so all of you who have ridden with me before, I did change out the exhaust on the Ryker. It is no longer the loud ass race exhaust. After that Mount Greylock trip, I'm like, I can't. I love it, but I couldn't do it. Like even with the earplugs and the helmet and everything, I'm like, it's too much after like 8 hours of just like droning. because we took back roads there, but it was all highway back, and it just finally got to me. So same brand, same Treal performance, same weight and everything. It's just a bigger muffler and baffler on it. So still got a good, nice tone to it. It's just not ridiculously loud.
Jarvis says lots of loud bikes in Americade. I don't think I need to have anything to worry about then.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never had any issues, even with my LEDs or exhaust or anything from any state.
Americade is about 530 miles for me. That's not too bad. Could probably do that in a day. Maybe. Shouldn't say I can do something that I've never done before. So.
Yeah, that was like my very first road trip I ever took was out in 2020 to go see Chris and that crew. And I'm like, no planning, no whatever. I'm like, oh yeah, I can just do this. This is fine. It was terrible. And then it was like raining, and at least I bought rain gear. That was, at least I did that. But yeah, Nick is in Virginia.
Yeah, Virginia. Yeah, van's easy. It's like 2.5 hours. Well, actually, more about 3.5 hours for me.
All right, Smyrna, thanks for stopping by.
I'd like to try to, I'll have to start venturing out a little west. Like, I think the further west I've been is just West Virginia and Ohio. Our work is actually out. Some of it's out of Ohio now. It's actually kind of near where McStash is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I missed. That was another one I was looking at. It was on my radar for this year, I guess it would have been. But yeah. Yeah, I want to get. I was looking at that too. I'm like, where else can I go besides going straight down south? I'm like, I got to go west, and that ends up in the Ohio, West Virginia type area. So
West Virginia's got some really good roads to ride. Ohio's got some good roads. We did that triple nickel and all the roads in Athens. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'd like to get out there. That's one of them. But
it's cool.
Yeah, Motonoggin's out there.
There's a lot of people that go to Americade. Windy Nine, that's what it is.
So it's funny, yeah. So Americade's in the summer. So Spider Quest is in September. So all the Can Am people go up to the same spots in Lake George and do all the same stuff. And I can't bring myself to go.
Like the demos and all. Like,
yeah, like it's just not my scene. Like I'm still on the younger end of all the Spider riders and all of that, and the way that they ride. I've seen the videos. I'm like, dude, I can't do the 20 mile an hour rides and like all of the parades and all that stuff. I'm like, it would be cool to see like the Can Am stuff and like all of that, but like just I'd have to go off on my own and ride and not join the group rides or anything.
Yeah.
That some of them are not fond of me, so
a lot of people go to Americade, I guess, demo bikes.
Yep.
OMCD, Ocean City Bike Week.
That's the one thing Can Am needs to do more of. They'll be out and they'll show the bikes, but they don't do a lot of demo days, which I think is kind of counterproductive to what they want to do. I think they need to get more people on there, create more demo machines for use, and just push it out there. Be like, hey, go ride this for 10 miles or 20 miles or something.
Yeah. We did. Me and my dad did a Can Am experience this past summer up in Percyville, Virginia, at a dealer, and it was me and him. We were both on. I was on F3. We're both on F3 limited Spyders, and one guy was on a Ryker, and then you had the instructor. It was just basically 3 riders, and then the lead guy. And we rode some back roads, but it wasn't nothing like 35, 45. We might have got up to 55 or 60 miles an hour, but it wasn't nothing like pushing them or anything like that. And it was actually the first time my dad rode his actually first time he actually rode a bike or rode a Spyder at all. So he did pretty good.
Yeah,
it was fun. I mean,
a couple of years ago, I test drove one of those F3 Limiteds. They're really nice for what they are.
Yeah, they are.
You pay for it, but you literally get every single option that there is.
Yeah, I did actually manage to stop at a stop sign and let people go ahead and kind of give it a little gas to get the back wheel to spin a little bit, to see what this thing's got taken off. And it's got some get up and go to it.
It does, I think, and it's a 1330 motor, but it revs to like $8,000. And I think what happens is people don't rev it that high and don't realize the power keeps going if they keep it in the RPM range. And that's detuned.
Yeah.
So if you tune it, you open up the rest of the power band on it. So, which is what, that's what everyone keeps saying. That like the bigger touring models, they're a little bit heavier than the other ones. Like just bump up the power. Some people even put trailers on them. So, it could use just an extra 15, 20 horsepower.
Yeah, they definitely you'll pay for them.
Yeah,
you're set up for touring. You got your hard bags and all that. I think the ones we were looking at were in the 30s.
Yeah, the limited. Once you get into limited models, you're talking $30,000. But again, you got the adjustable windshield, heated everything, like seats, grips, all that stuff, all the storage. It's again, if I was doing more touring and like planning out Sturgis or Route 66 or something, I'd have to do something like that. Because then gas mileage, you're comfortable, the seating, all that, and then spending that money ends up being worth it. I think there's not even a base F3 anymore. Oh, they keep changing things. It's either the base or the sport they got rid of. So now it's just like a regular F3, and then like literally just jumps up to the limited. But yeah, I think they're up to $24,000 now. But if you want anything with options, you're looking at $30,000 easy. And that brand new Canyon they're trying to come out with is, you want anything with options, it's $30,000. And then like the biggest, highest model, whatever, with all the other options, is like $34,000, $35,000. Which again, my argument is it doesn't do anything that the Spyder or the Ryker doesn't already do. No, not Randy. Yeah, the only thing with the Ryker with just longer trips is just gas mileage, really.
Is the Canyon, is that like based off the Ryker? Or
it's based off the Spyder F3.
Okay.
So it's the same frame, same drivetrain and everything, and they just beefier suspension to lift it up, tires and body kit and all that. But it's still belt driven. They didn't change that. So the Ryker shafts drive. The Spyders are all belt driven. But then they're telling you that you can take the Canyon off road, and everyone's like, "No, we don't want to if it's belt driven." They're like, "Yeah, but we put a guard on the belt." I'm like, "It doesn't. Guards only help for like bigger stuff. Like if you get into gravel and smaller stones and stuff, eventually something's going to get in there and eat the belt away." With the Ryker, if I'm doing highway, like the van trips and stuff like that, I'll probably get 100, 140, 150 miles on a tank. Now, the Spyders have the 6-speed transmission, and it's like 1 extra gallon of gas. They get like 200, 220 miles on a tank.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean it's, and again on an F3 Limited, you're sitting there, you're comfortable. You could probably ride the whole 200 miles and then fill up and take a break. The Ryker is 5.5 gallons, I think, and I think the Spyder's a little over 6.
Oh, your record's 5.5 gallons?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I've had it on E with no bars showing with the light on, and it took a little over 5 just to fill it. So I don't know how much was actually left, but
Running on fumes.
basically, yeah. But yeah, the spec sheets I think they say like 5.4, 5.3 or something like that.
Wow.
But the tank is weird too. Like it doesn't read right. So because they basically took a gas tank from something else and turned it this way. So the sensor isn't where it should be. Then I think it's tough to fill it completely with gas the way that it is. And I think some people are losing mileage because of that. They think it's full, but you still have like so much more space where you can just sit there and squeeze the nozzle and get a little bit more in.
I miss mine does that when I go to fill up. It does like an air pocket, and you go to fill the gas up, and sometimes certain gas nozzles they just have, some of them will have where you pull the trigger on the gas nozzle and it'll just come out too much.
Yeah.
Or, you got to squeeze it, put more pressure on it to squeeze it to get the gas come out, and then it just kind of overflows. So you got to kind of go real easy with it when you're pumping gas. But I noticed that like it'll stop at like way less than it should be. So I got to sit there and like kind of slowly get it to go in the tank.
Yeah, I do the same thing with certain gas pumps too. So yeah, so with the Ryker, I've done it's about 2 hours on a full tank of gas, a full 2 hour stint, and then I can pull over. And so that's, I mean, for me, that's comfortable. I can stretch, get gas, have a snack, and then go.
Yeah, that's take a break when you get a take and stop and get gas.
Although I've been keeping my eye on those Harley RG3s too, but that would be a nice touring machine. And at least I know there's a Harley dealership somewhere if something were to happen. So
how many miles you got on your Ryker now?
It's about 13,000 on it now. So for buying it brand new at the end of 2022, that's not bad.
Yeah,
and losing this whole summer riding, so I've done a lot of miles on it. If you factor all that in.
Now with your repair, you put a new belt on it and new clutch and all. Like, did you go back to stock clutch? Or?
Yeah, I went back to the stock clutch on it, and I put the OEM belt back in it. So.
Oh, I saw the video about the.
Yeah, so it sucks because that OEM belt from Can Am is like $200 something, but
yeah,
it's the best belt to get at this point. So everyone's having problems with the upgraded DynoJet stuff. So.
Now, what's the mileage they say that original OEM belt will go?
So they're saying about 10 to 12,000.
Okay.
So I'm probably going to put 8 on this one, swap it before the summer, before VAM, and then just kind of look at it and see what the wear is.
That's cool.
But yeah, obviously like burnouts and stuff like that, it's going to slip more and all of that.
Yeah.
So I might as well change it out. That's why I got to look at my rear brake too, with all the brake stands and burnouts. That's probably going. A real oh, everyone will be my friend if I buy a Harley. Ben from Bikes, Beers, and Brews will like me again. So
get like an extra 10,000 subscribers.
Honestly, it would be crazy if I just borrowed Melissa's and did like a bunch of videos and like, hey, I bought a Harley. Like, I guarantee you my subscriber and views will go up. But I mean, she's got 4 bikes now. She can loan that to me.
There you go. So you haven't rode her RG3 yet? You should ride it.
I did in the parking lot in first gear. And it's funny, like it didn't feel like I haven't done a clutch and stuff like that in a while.
Yeah.
It didn't feel super weird. Like the only thing that was weird was the steering with one wheel. That was it. because it's a little bit different with the weight and everything with the wheels in the back.
Yeah.
Well, I think that would only take me a few miles to get used to that at that point. And then I just got to remember I can't shove that thing into the corners like you can in Ryker.
Yeah.
Like I can imagine that Harley's not forgiving at all.
Yeah, I don't know how the 3 wheels would do. I wonder how they behave between the RG3 versus, like, say, like a Traglite or something. If there's a difference in handling between the two.
Yeah, it'd be interesting in the types of tires they use in the suspension settings.
Because that isn't like isn't like the Traglite based off or something? Isn't it based off like the Ultra Limited platform?
I think so. I'm not sure what the newer ones are.
I think us. Sorry, she's got the one the RG3. That's more of a like a road glide.
Right. Yeah. So that's
into it. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. That's what it is.
Which I was looking at. I was looking at the freewheelers too, and it's got like it's all open. There's nothing there. I'm like, which is great, but not for road trips. You want all those fairings and everything in front of you.
I was surprised at like my new bike I got, the Chieftain, how easy it is to handle, like as far as balance and everything, even for being so heavy. It handles like really good. Like I ride that and then I get on the Scout and ride it, and I'm like, I'm just not used to the Scout now. It's so weird. Like, I've gotten so used to the Chieftain now. It's different. Like everything, like the balance, the clutch. I was surprised at how easy the clutch was on that. The Scout's clutch actually has got a lot harder pull than the Chieftain does.
Nice. Yeah, it's interesting. When I had both the Spyder and the Ryker for a little bit, like you wouldn't think like, oh, there are 3 wheels. It's so weird, so different.
I know you talked about the seating position on
seating position, and like the 100-pound difference between both of them, the way like they handle, and the one thing I do miss a lot is the Brembo brakes on the Spyder. Like the Ryker braking is just terrible. And when we did Mount Greylock, I had brake fade so early into it. I'm like, this sucks. Luckily, like the engine braking is good, but like I was pushing that thing hard and it took it for a little bit and then it just gave up. It was like, nope, you have no braking power now. I'm like, that's not good. But yeah, I definitely got to swap the brakes. There's a couple of companies that make upgraded pads and actually floating rotors for it. So I'm gonna have to price those out and probably just upgrade them. But,
yeah, I'm not too hard on my brakes. I think both the Scout and the Chieftain have pretty good engine braking, and I don't come up on things too fast.
Yeah, I've kept last I looked at them, they didn't seem too bad, but I just want to make sure. Because when I had my Spyder, I actually caught the only reason I caught that the rear brake was done was because I had to swap the tire. And I was taking everything apart. I'm like, oh, I have no rear brakes. But yeah, I know Chris has been riding a lot of different bikes too.
Yeah, I saw he's restoring that one.
Yep.
Yeah, that's cool.
So he's got a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, he's got a lot of projects.
But yeah, wish I had a little bit more space just for another project, but it'll be for another time.
Yeah.
So I mean, I own the Ryker, so I can just put that wherever.
Yeah, I got a bike I've got to get rid of. Got one I'm gonna try to sell hopefully this spring. Got too many in the garage now.
Yeah, just sell one to Melissa. She collects them now.
Yeah, you said she had 4.
4 now. On top of the slingshot, and I think she still has another car. I don't know.
She's got the RG3 and
the RG3, the Honda sports bike,
CBR6 R.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And what's the other one?
And then 2 cruiser bikes. I forget exactly. They're both Harleys, but I forget what models now. But,
yeah, I think I'm just gonna stick with my Scout and the Chieftain bike. I don't know. Probably not in any discussion about any more bikes for quite a while now. Yeah, I'm gonna try to get some long distance riding in, hopefully with this new one here. I just gotta figure out what I want to do this next year. I definitely want to do VAM. That's gonna probably be, just like I always do, is go to that, and then figure out maybe a trip or two potentially.
Yeah, I want to try at least hit one more thing next year, maybe 2. I have to see how things pan out. I mean, the way this year panned out, like I've got all this PTO I gotta burn, so I got to start taking it early in the year, and I can do more trips.
Yeah, if I do any trips, it'll probably be late spring. Like probably, I'll say my time frame would probably be between late May to possibly July, August, September. I can't do anything in August really, and usually after I get back from VAM, I can't really do much there.
Yeah. Right.
September, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, we talked about possibly a trip for September, but
yeah,
make it. I mean, that's up in PA, so that's not too bad. It's like it's a couple hours for me, so I can probably make that. Bags and bruises.
Yeah, most places in PA is a day trip for me just to get to wherever the destination is, so that's not bad.
Nah.
Yeah, I always seem to miss the Bagger and Bruise events. There's either in conjunction with another event, or it's just I just learned about it too late, and I couldn't be able to get there. But I think the last thing they did was in Jersey, maybe, which would have been easy to get to. But yeah, I got to get to more events like that. Whether there's a lot, like VAM, there's a lot more motor vloggers and just hanging out and getting the name out there and stuff like that. But
yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna blog much. I might blog a little bit for VAM, but past couple of years I've done so many. You do the routes and everything, and also I don't know if I'm gonna do much of a filming much. I might try to wrap it up into maybe one video or something.
yeah, it seemed the format that I did for 23 seemed to be popular.
It was good.
Movie out of that. So I think I'll probably for VAM, I'll probably keep that type of same format. And then with other trips, I'll have to figure something out depending on how that goes.
Yeah.
But it is, I do get it, because it's a lot of like, everyone's done a tail, everyone's done this. So everyone knows the routes and stuff. Like, all right, how do you make this different?
Yeah.
Like, what happened? Like, the group of people you have with you can make it different. Obviously, I don't know if John's still watching, but, you have someone like John and Randy, yeah. Everyone's, the personalities in the video.
Yeah.
But
I mean, there's so much. I tell you, there's so much. Like when we rode, there's like you cover so much mileage and hours, and it's just like, okay, I've got to consolidate this down into like a 7 or 8 minute, 6-minute video or something. Just make it. I try to make them short so that it's not going to be like, oh gosh, I mean, if you put it all in one video, that's one thing, because then it's just kind of all there. But if you break it up, it's just like trying to make shorter videos. It's
yeah,
kind of at least hold a little bit of attention for a while.
Yeah, and it is tough because like most of it's just highway driving. It's like, oh, I'm going to this destination, so it's like, all right, just be like, this is where I'm going, and then you're there, and just kind of like updates. But
Yeah. I really need to possibly look into, I guess, eventually upgrading my camera. 'Cause
yes, that's been on my list too. I think I
yeah.
think my media mod is actually screwing up, and that's why
Oh.
it says my mic is plugged in, and occasionally it just won't.
Mm.
It won't work. But I won't touch anything. Just turn it off and on again, and then it works. So it's definitely something sketchy with the media mod. But it's a GoPro 8, and
Yeah.
you can't find that stuff anymore. And if you do, people want stupid money for it. So
Yeah.
I'm
Guess what
just
mine
now.
is? It's an 8. I bought a bunch of those OEM batteries, like GoPro 8 batteries, like last summer. There was a place on eBay that we found that were selling a bunch of them. So I bought like quite a few of them before we went on the Dragon Week trip. Chris, he got some too, and I only had one here recently swell up on me.
Hmm.
I was recording and I was actually doing a video in the garage with it, and I guess it overheated, and I went to take. I think it was out taking it out of my 5 that I had, or one of them, and I had to let it go down or whatever for it swelled up. So I was able to get it out, but well, that one's bad. That's actually the first time it's ever happened. I think I've never had a problem with them swelled up before, as long as you're like, if you're on the bike and you're moving,
Right.
I think it's keeping it. It's it's airflow is keeping the battery from overheating, and I don't really leave them on like like long time recording. I might do a little bit. It's just I've done it sometimes where I'll do like a trip and I'll have them plugged in hardwired to like a battery pack, and I'll record for a little bit for like an hour or two. Sometimes I'll do that. But yeah, I like to look at maybe a newer camera. There's a lot of options out there now with different ones.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Just change the helmet camera. Then I can take that camera, put it somewhere else. So then I have more options of different views and stuff. Well, I have to. It's all for next year stuff.
Yeah.
Gotta get through the
So
rest of it.
do you use a you said you use a media mod? What kind of mic do you use for your helmet? Do you have like
So, so that was something that Ben recommended to me. I basically bought his old setup
yeah,
without the microphone. And he sent me links to everything to buy with the adapters and all of that. So I just followed the links, bought them, and it worked. So
that's cool. I use a Purple Panda, like just into my helmet and then hooked up to the GoPro and use that. It's done pretty good. It's I like to try to get a wireless one or maybe something, I don't know.
yeah, I think I'll have to dig up the links at some point. But it's the type of microphone that doesn't need any sort of adapter. It plugs right in, so you don't have to have any sort of middle adapter between it.
Okay.
So, and he said he had good. I mean, he was using it, so he had good reviews on it. And I haven't, because I don't think the problem is the microphone. I think the problem is the media mod is just freaking out
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah.
But,
Oh, well, man, I think I want to jump off here. Trying to see if anybody else would join.
threw the link out there again, but yeah, no, it was fun. I'll be hanging out for a little bit more, and then we'll see what we can get into.
All right. Well, I'll be talking to you probably sometime again this winter, and probably plan something or whatever with
Let's say yeah, we'll
Sam
try.
or some riding somewhere.
Yeah, we'll try to plan out something. If I make a spring trip, I'll
Yeah.
let you know. We'll figure that out.
Yeah, it's always the time with winter is always the planning and all that for next year. Getting
Yeah.
ready for that.
Which reminds me, I should probably actually start planning the VAM hotels and stuff now.
Yeah.
I usually do that for the first of the year. So
Saw a guy. I was watching a video. I think it was Patrick Motor Ramblings did a trip, and talking about like when you do a trip about going places and not planning hotel trips for when you're traveling, just to just go and just stay wherever.
Right.
I never thought about that, but
No, I mean that's a gambling game to play because you don't
yeah,
know if there's going to be room or not, especially in the summer, like going
yeah,
down like certain routes. That's like it's a crapshoot.
yeah. That's
Because
true.
what if you've been on the road for 10 hours and you're like, I really got to stop somewhere, and when you
Hey,
stop, they have no rooms.
so you know that place you stopped at? Was it in 23 or 22? I don't know. 23 when you came down here. It was you and Rhodey
Yeah.
and John, and we met at that Shell station here
Oh
with
yeah,
us.
yeah.
So when you come down here for VAM, where that station is that we all met at, across the street will be a Bucky's.
Oh,
They're
nice.
building one right now. So you'll be able to see a Bucky's. I don't know if y'all see one or not, but
Nice.
yeah, that'd be a landmark to see finally.
Yeah, that'll be fun. Yeah, I got to start. I got to figure out what I want to do for those 2 weeks first. That's the first thing, and then I got to plan a route and stays from there, and see if I can actually stay with anybody. If not, just that's the whole process. So,
Very cool. All right, man. I'll let you go.
all right, man. Thanks for stopping by.
Yep. Take care.
All right.
Later. I forgot to get out of here.
Oh, there we go. All right. That was Technic Rides. What do we got left? I'm still pounding Mountain Dew, so I can still keep going if you guys are watching. Although everyone's probably sleeping at this point. It's like past 9 o'clock. It's been a rough week. It's a Friday. Everyone fell asleep. Don't want to watch Blackphoenix. Just sitting here talking to myself in a bear hug with a gorilla. No one's going to understand that. I have like 0 messages too. So like literally everyone fell asleep. It's interesting though, because guys like Angry D, he's got a live stream going on. I know he does it every Friday, but he's Central Time, so I don't know what time he actually does his. But dude, he'll go on for like 4 or 5 hours, like on and on. He sits there and super entertaining. Not taking anything away from him at all, but like he'll sit there and play the guitar and like do stuff, and he's got like people watching and stuff. I'm like, that's awesome. Like just being able to chill out and just do stuff for like your entire Friday night. Like I would rather do that because I don't like drink or anything. So I'm not going to go out to a bar and hang out or whatever. That's just weird for me. But yeah, just hang out in the new pad and do stuff. So, which is funny because I've been thinking about actually buying another guitar and getting back into the music, but I don't know. I got a lot of things I want to do and just not a whole bunch of time to do it. So. Yay, Corey's still here. Someone's listening. But yeah, just bike stuff, video game stuff, just me stuff. Just that's been my... Oh no, what happened? Oh, my Wi-Fi is like crapping out. Connection is good. I'm not actually on well, yeah, I am. I guess you can call it Wi-Fi. Hold on. But why now? Like I've been doing this for over an hour and now it wants to freak out. So occasionally I get that. So I got one of those T-Mobile 5G hotspot internet things. Works great, and randomly it'll just kind of like be like blah, crap out and then come right back. So it's not a huge deal. And again, for the money that I'm spending on it, it's not it does everything I need it to do, so it's good enough. Although if I want to upload my normal riding videos to YouTube, I set it and walk away because the upload time on that is just terrible. It's on average, it's taken me about an hour and a half to 2 hours to upload one video. So I got to time that out and be like, all right, I'm going to upload this. I'll go work out. I'll go do something and then come back to it. So that's why it's working out like with these once a week videos. I'm already up to mid-December at this point. I'm going to take a break for the holidays. I'll start putting out videos again after the new year and just do all that type of stuff. So and I should have enough videos at that point to start riding hopefully again in March, as long as it's somewhat warm enough and no snow or anything like that. So, and I'm hoping my plan of having the Ryker in the driveway just works, just covered. So I'm in a decent enough area. So it's not like you can't just like walk away with a Ryker. I mean, I suppose you could if you were big enough, but, but yeah, what are you going to do with it? It's not like a little sports bike, like a little 400-pound sports bike you can just throw in the back of a pickup truck or something. What else I want to ramble about? Yeah, they grab Harleys too. Yeah, I just feel like that's just the problem in general with two wheels. Like no matter what you try to do, you know, any sort of locks, anything like that, like you can just take it. You have enough people, they just lift it or move it or whatever and do that. But I think with three wheels, it's heavier. Well, no, I don't want to say they're heavier because the Ryker's only 650 pounds, and there are plenty of Harleys that are heavier than that. But just the general mechanics of it and steering locks, transmission locks, stuff like that, and hopefully that'll deter people, but we'll see. I just want to be able to ride more. I had a storage unit for a little bit, and which is what I needed at the time, but just the time of it, it's just like, it wasn't so much the early in the morning thing. That was fine, but like, depending on how far out I am, I'd have to get back by 10 p.m. to get back into the storage unit to put the bike away. I'm like, I can't, like, and like during the week, some people want me to go out to the Cape. I'm like, I can't because I need to be back by this time to be able to put the bike away. And then what ended up happening is the storage unit, I don't know, they ended up getting pissed at me for like leaving my car there all the time. It's like, that's literally the point. I'm paying you for a storage unit for the bike, and multiple other people do the same thing there, and we leave our cars there. And I think the final straw was like, hey, I'm actually going to go out to the Cape. I'm just going to leave my car here overnight. And they said no. And I'm like, all right, well, then I can't have your unit anymore. Like, this just isn't going to work. Plus, I got tired of kind of wasting the money too at that point. So put it away for the winter. I'll bring it back in the spring and just ride whenever I want. So that'll work. You know, that way I can do more app rides in the summer. I'll do it just for Anonymous, just to show him the products. We'll call it. But yeah. So this, turn that off. I don't need my laptop anymore. That's not too bad. Yeah, still no messages from anybody. So everybody fell asleep. anyways, yeah. So be back. Maybe I can make lives a thing. The problem is like with lives too, it's just like everybody does them, and there's already someone who does a live in the set time that you want to do a live in, and it's just you're gonna cross somebody anyway. So just have to find a time at some point to do that, or even if it's every other week or something. But I'll figure it out. But coming up on an hour and a half. I'll let it hit an hour and a half, and then we'll see. Maybe I'll call it. It was kind of short notice too. I had like a couple days to promote this. I was like, I'm not doing anything. It's better than, like I said at the beginning, like better than sitting around doing nothing. So. You know what I didn't do though, which I should probably do. What I could do for the next one is actually make a topic of it for Can Am, post it in the Can Am forums that I'm going live, and maybe I'll get some traction that way. So maybe I'll do that after my That's not a bad idea. Maybe I'll do that after my second Canyon video comes out, and then I'll go live later that week and post it again, and then see if I get some people. All right, yeah, I just killed that whole Mountain Dew, so I'm not going to sleep anytime soon. Yeah. And then I'll be sleeping like 15 minutes later. I don't know. I'll hit that crash. But I feel like I have at least one viewer that's not commenting, because I'm looking at the number and it doesn't match up. Maybe 2. That's okay though. Just make sure you subscribe, then watch my videos. It'll be good. Maybe I should just leave the live stream going and I'll just go about my night. No, I'm not going to do that because weird shit will happen. But I want to see that. I'll totally forget that I'm filming. Like, it'll be live, and yeah, no one wants to see what happens when the lights go out. But yeah, maybe that's for a different website with the Av girls. Yeah, so just hanging out and it's true. Yeah, that's pretty much the reaction. Well, I did get another idea for another tattoo, but I'm going to sit on it for a little bit and just like ponder it, and then see if I really want to do it or not, and then see what happens. But it's what I did with no, the last one I just got, I didn't have to ponder it all. I'm like, this is what I want, and then I did it. So just bang that out. But this one I want to sit on for a little bit and see if I really want that. They're all, for the most part, pretty thought out. I could probably just do I could make a video out of that. That would probably bring in a different crowd. Just talk about tattoos and shit. But yeah, coming up on an hour and a half. So unless I get a few more new people, or I'm probably just going to call it. Yeah, so I'm on TikTok too. And I was scrolling through my feed, and this guy, what he does is he does drawings and stuff, and then he'll post them up on TikTok and be like, hey, is anyone interested? And then you basically, it's kind of a cool setup. He's got the setup where you give him donations. He'll send you the file, like some sort of high-res file, and the permission to do it, and then you send it to your artist and whatever. So he had a couple things that I liked. So I went to his website, looked at it. So I'm going to ponder it and think about it, like, all right, and location-wise, like, where am I going to put this? And then think about it, and then, you know, because I'm not going to be that guy. I'm going to donate to him, and because obviously he did the work for it and everything to create the design. So I'm not going to be like that, but yeah. And then get the file from him, give it to my artist, and then we'll get something done. But I just want to sit on it for another week or so. See, the other thing is, I don't know if this mic picks up anything that happens outside, because like I said, I'm on the Ave and police just went by, so I don't know if the sirens were caught in the microphone or not, but I can hear them. But anyways, yeah, hour and a half. So Corey, I'm gonna call it. Oh, you did hear the sirens. All right, cool. So you guys can hear absolutely everything that happens outside. That's awesome. That's good to know. So when I do lives, I'll have to not have windows open, stuff like that, if it's nice out and all that, which I wouldn't anyways, but I think they are. I'm not sure. I don't go downtown all that often, so I'm not sure what's actually still open or not downtown. The last place I went to downtown is that Play Arcade, which is actually a cool place. You know, they got food and a bar and everything, and you can play arcade games and stuff. So, like good arcade games, like some old school games and stuff like that. So it's not bad, but again, it's not. A lot of that's not my scene, just because I don't drink. And people are like, "Oh, you go out and meet people." I'm like, "Yeah, hey, I don't drink," so that doesn't work for me, brother. Yeah, they seem to be getting more popular. There was one in it was years ago I went to in Providence, but I don't even think it's there anymore. But yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna call it, and we'll hang out. Yeah, we'll definitely talk more in the spring. Yeah, we'll definitely plan some rides and do something. I gotta plan out my trips for VAM and all that stuff. So I gotta figure out what I want to do, where I want to go, who I want to meet, and who's going to come with me, basically, from up here if I'm going to VAM. So got to figure all that stuff out, and that'll probably be for another video once I get all that sorted out. So thanks, Corey. Thanks for hanging out, and thanks for Smyrna, Jarvis, Nick for joining the live, and people that I missed. I think Anon was on here, HD Traveler. Dunlife said first, and then never showed up. So I don't know how that works, but Dunlife, you were here, but then you weren't. So anyways, thanks for I'll say rocking with the flock. I'll see you guys later.